He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Well, this defense for the Chargers very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 32-yard line. Dobbins running out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Stuffing him behind the line there, that's Dayon Henley. Really nice play.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
To throw is Nix. Quick hitter here, it's complete. It's going to be a nice pickup, but he also takes a pretty good lick at the end of that one. Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They moved it well, but here's 3rd down. Now it's Nix. And that is incomplete.
That one came up just a little bit short. I'm wondering, is he still a little bit tight as this game starts? What would you say? Maybe he's got to take the governor off of it?
Or maybe the donut off the baseball bat, like the guys
I like
on
that.
that circle?
I like that. Yeah, just take that little extra weight off of him and start to play freely.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. And before this 4th and 3 play, we're going to get whistles and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. The field goal unit's going to stay put on the sideline. They're going to go on 4th down here. They'll go for it. Here's Nix. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Evan Ingram, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Broncos take a chance, but they find pay dirt on 4th and goal. Will Lutz on for the point after. And he's got it. 7-0 Broncos. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Nyheim Hines now out of his end zone. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Open man is the rookie from Auburn. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Heck of a start, a 30-yard pickup on their first play from scrimmage.
We spent a lot of time talking about what's going on the field. How about off the field with the evaluation? And they spent a lot of time saying, we've got to get a rookie in here who has big playability. And that's exactly what we're seeing here early in his career.
Drafted him in the spring. Here he is early in the fall making an impact. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. The Chargers at 2-0 here to begin the season, and they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
2nd and 10. A shotgun snap for Herbert. He's got the tight end. That's Gadsden. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. First reception for him, and remember, he leads the NFL in that category here in this first month. Also has a first down. Herbert changing things up. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Open man right side, that's McConkey. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. 23 yards, the final tally.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
The first down screen pass, good for 5. But yet another completion here on this opening drive, and he's now perfect 4 of 4 to start. Pretty solid execution here.
And how about how everyone's handled their nerves? Because you know what it's like to start a ball game. You're so amped up and ready to go that sometimes the execution isn't there. They've been flawless so far. Well drilled, well prepared, and excited to start this game.
And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Again, Herbert. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, it's been a tough go for them. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
The offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And this is going to be recovered by a member of the offense, but whistles come in. Remember, on 4th down, that becomes a dead ball if anyone other than the fumbler himself recovers. So it'll come back to the spot of the fumble, and that will mean that's going to wind up being a turnover on downs. And just not much to be had there. 1 yard out to the 10.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Nix to the air. A short throw to Ingram. A beautiful fake. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Broncos football as we begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 1st and 10. A give up the middle to Dobbins. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Now Dobbins again on second down. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Give him 5 yards there, and it'll bring up second down.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
Finds his tight end, Ingram. He had the touchdown on the opening drive. Now he's got a first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. It's a gain of 7 on the ground. Second down coming up.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
On play action, here's Nix. He'll get that complete to Vele. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down. They'll run with Dobbins. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
He'll swing this out to Harvey. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
Brandon, you know this is going to be discussed because this is the fear of all the backs when they run this type of a route. They've got to find the football, and sometimes they don't see the defender. And in this case, he took a pretty good shot for his efforts, but give him credit, able to hold on to the football.
And it's out. He put it on the carpet. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. Now Lutz for the field goal try. From the left hash, a chip shot here. The kick by Lutz is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. The Charger drive about to get going. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Now it's Herbert. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Back to throw here, Herbert. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. How about that? They weather the storm of a 3rd and 17 to pick up the first. Herbert going to give to Hampton. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
2nd and 7, operating from the 34. Here's Herbert. Flush to his right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10. the 7. A good pickup there, 26 yards. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll work inside here, Hampton. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard on the pickup there. Second and goal.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on first down, holding them to a short gain.
Out of the gun, Herbert. And it's intercepted. And the Broncos are going to take possession here at their own 3-yard line.
Partner, there's no other way you could describe it because that was absolutely just gut-wrenching for that offense. They were right on the precipice. Points were available. All they had to do was just fall forward, and they were going to put them up on the board. Instead, a long drive ends in heartbreak and a melancholy trip back to the drawing board. How you like it when I go a little bit lyrical for you?
Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down, 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Nothing is our score as we get started again on EA Sports. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, kind of a costly one, as he won't make it back to the 20. The Charger drive about to get going. Charles, some things to like about that first half. Ultimately trailing here, but certainly this deficit is manageable. So curious to see what adjustments they may have made at intermission.
As am I, because I think things bode well for a possible comeback because I thought a lot of their best reps in the first half came through the passing game. They were hitting the open receivers, taking whatever the coverage gave them and making it work well for themselves. Now, they just want to pick up the pace of scoring a little bit. So I expect them to come out and continue to throw the ball effectively.
So from the 26-yard line, here's second down and 1. Herbert, quick pass out wide. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
On first down, hits Hampton. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
I think this running game, or should I say lack of one, is making this defense look better than what they really are.
Now a second and 10. Herbert. He's got a man. It's his fullback. And he'll be brought down right on the 50. A gain of 3.
Now that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. From the 50, here's Herbert. That is caught. Touchdown, L.A. Lad McConkey, 50 yards. And the Chargers have got it back to within a score. Extra point up and good by Dicker. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. But Charles, they still have the lead despite their defense giving up a touchdown on the previous possession. And even though they have that lead, it feels like a back-and-forth ball game where to try to get momentum back, maybe they need at least 3 here on this drive.
I think you're right about that, Brandon, because your game plan doesn't change. I do believe your urgency does because of the last score that went against your team. So what you want to do now is have your own drive and try and make sure that that momentum stays in your camp.
Give them 5 on the screenplay, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch, I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Here is 3rd down and 4. To throw, here's Nix. Targeting Dobbins again, and he's got it again. And he's brought down short. 2 yards there, needed 4. The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. James now to return. And he'll take a shot at the end of that one, and they'll begin right there. Following the punt return here, there is someone shaken up. More from L.A. in a moment. The Charger drive about to get going. Now this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. A good productive run there on 1st down. He winds up getting 8.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Brandon, you know, we talk about having wrinkles in a game plan. That was a fold right there. How about that play? Being able to change things up. You think anyone else on the team's going to get the ball, and in that situation, they surprise everyone and give it to their big guy.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. Wide open receiver complete. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. A big play there. 53 yards. And the Chargers have scored again in this 3rd quarter, this time to move out in front. Extra point try now from Dicker. And that makes it 14-10. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Their lead, they have seen it evaporate completely after such a good first half. They've been shut down here in the third quarter.
Searching for answers, trying to figure out what it's going to take to get back to where they were before. The big part of it is that sometimes you don't have to go exotic now. You go back to basics. Being able to run the football, string some things together, some effective passes, try and get a rhythm established again, and try and get back in the lead.
Back in the lead, like you said, back to the basics. Growing Nix. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
It's a well-designed play here. 3 wide receivers in the formation. They're all going to run deep routes to put pressure on the safeties. And then they let their tight end cut his route off a little shorter and work toward the middle of the field. That's a difficult route to try to defend.
Harvey now on 1st and 10. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
I'll give them credit for trying, but there's no fooling the defense with that call. They were reading run, and they set up to stump the run and then execute it.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's a 2nd down and 9. To throw is Nix. Look at the big man rumble. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Evan Ingram with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Broncos have answered back with a third-quarter touchdown of their own to retake the lead. The Lutz will look to add the extra point. It's good, and they'll take a 17-14 lead. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. They work now on 2nd and 9. Up the middle, it's Hampton. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
Well, he certainly thought he had an open look beyond the 1st down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Justin Herbert looking to pass. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
Chargers on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, any caused incompletion is good for a defense, but when you add to it, you get a little hit on the quarterback, knock him to the ground, make him think a little bit, hopefully knock him off his game, especially in a game of this magnitude, this tight in the fourth quarter. Got to feel pretty good as a defense.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. That pickup goes for 25. What a flip of the script from 4th down to 1st. A run. Here's Hampton. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 45 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and turn his legs for a really nice pickup.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Here's Herbert. This will be caught inside the 10. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
On the give, this is Hampton. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Omarion Hampton, his 3rd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Chargers answer back with a touchdown of their own to take a 4th quarter lead. Extra point up and good by Dicker. And that will make this a 4-point game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that's pretty good coverage by the kick team, as he'll only be able to get this past the 15-yard line and no further. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the 4th quarter, and a chance to gets by him, and now a little daylight. And he'll be forced out of bounds on the other side of the field. A huge play there for Denver. 41 yards.
Well, this is where an offense needs to show what it's made of, and in fact, where a quarterback needs to show what he's made of, trying to engineer a 4th quarter comeback, and he hits a big one right there.
Now they'll change things around before the snap. Nix from the shotgun. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle 3rd of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the 2nd half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, but a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Nick's going to give to Harvey. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
Oh, that'll be incomplete. He took a shot as he let that go, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, that plays a statistic that's going to go on the defensive team stat sheet. Won't necessarily reflect in ours, right, the overall game sheet. But you and I know that they keep count on pressures, hits on quarterbacks, all those things, hoping to increase that throughout the game. And here we are in the 4th quarter, and they got a big one.
Yeah, it's such a close game, a very big one. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion.
I love the drive they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They've moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively. But they better be prepared for some adjustments to come.
On a huge mistake late, it's intercepted. And the Chargers are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
The Charger drive about to get going. Another important 4th quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage. He's going to air one out. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Just because you've got the lead in the 4th, it doesn't mean you have to play it safe. I like the aggressive play call there to push it downfield. That time, it didn't work out.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Pass hauled in by Johnston. And this will be a gain of right around 3 from the 7 out to the 10-yard line. Now a 3rd and 6. Herbert now. That is intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And this one will be brought back to the 22. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Here's 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. That is caught by Vele. And able to use his stiff arm for a little bit of leverage before he's taken down. A pretty good gain.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
They'll come up now on 2nd down. A shotgun snap and a give to Dobbins. And the Broncos are going to have a 1st and goal as he's inside the 10 down to the 7-yard line.
Brandon, I think you and I were both raised the same way in the game of football. You run to set up the pass, but I think we've discovered in this NFL, a lot of teams pass to set up the run. And that's what they've done throughout this game. They've aired it out, thrown it around the yard. Now they've come back to the running game, and they find a way to be successful with it.
Here we go, 1st and goal. First carry now for Jaleel McLaughlin. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. They'll look to throw. Over the middle, he finds Vele. Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Now they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Dobbins. They push forward, but I don't think it's enough. He's going to be about a yard short. Chargers going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Here it is, 4th and goal. They're going. It's Nix. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They throw for it on 4th and goal at the 1. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. The Charger drive about to get going. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point, as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. 5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on 1st down. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And they take a knee. Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And, Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just execute.